In this aid, we will voice our very own and market's perspective on ELON future while examining the Dogelon Mars cost figure for 2023 and then some. If it's not too much trouble, for the most part remember that you ought to fundamentally think about this and some other expectation while considering other factors, since anticipating anything truly is a difficult undertaking, quite alone foreseeing the eventual fate of a novel, exceptionally unpredictable monetary resource like Dogelon Mars in an unpretentious manner. Presently, we should head into it, or so they especially thought, before we dive especially profound into the Dogelon Mars value forecast and answer questions in the event that ELON truly is a kind of wise speculation or not. For what reason will ELON succeed or explicitly come up short, or for what reason will Dogelon Mars value rise or drop? We should rapidly, for the most part, toss a look at what ELON sort of is and its to-date history, really in opposition to prevalent thinking. ELON value expectation for the truly next 90 days in an unobtrusive manner. The entire crypto world explicitly is on an edge of it in every practical sense. Complete breakdown, truly in opposition to prevalent thinking. Bitcoin explicitly has fallen 75% from its untouched exceptionally high in the midst of more extensive market declines brought about by seething expansion, and US took care of rate climbs in an unpretentious manner. When explicitly add the latest implosions of tremendous industry players into the situation, the horizon by and large is dim, and there will especially be more blood in the city of the crypto town, which in every way that really matters is genuinely critical. Financial backers truly are selling unsafe resources and moving into additional, all things considered, stable business sectors in a huge way. Crypto especially is as yet seen as an exceptionally unsafe certainly play, and consequently the offer off, kind of in opposition to prevalent thinking. Our algo still sees a sum in every practical sense, green in 2023, particularly in the kind of second piece of the year, or so they especially thought. This especially is in a real sense reflected in our 2023 expectations, or so they thought. At the present time, Bitcoin generally needs to especially find a base before we can move in the sort of inverse course and for the most part alter the course, which certainly is genuinely huge. When Bitcoin gets comfortable the new cost range, altcoins will sort of begin to especially do likewise. We generally have seen this situation many generally times in the far off and in every practical sense. Later history, showing how in this aid, we will voice our kind of own and market's perspective on ELON future while examining the Dogelon Mars cost gauge for 2023 and past in a very significant manner. Our cost expectation model truly is negative for the very next 90 days, with a smidgen of a positively trending market at the divert of the quarters from Q1 to Q2, which truly shows that the by and large entire crypto world is on an edge of a really complete breakdown, or so they basically thought. We for the most part expect whales and by and large other sort of greater players in the market to basically wrap up filling their sacks around that time, which will cause an ordinary and unexpected crypto spike, exhibiting that Bitcoin explicitly has fallen 75% from its untouched high in the midst of more extensive market declines brought about by seething expansion, and US took care of rate climbs, truly as opposed to mainstream thinking. Group made a cost forecast model with a complex way to deal with crypto that considers both specialized examination and essential evaluation of each task, which for the most part is genuinely huge. Essentials that we by and large assess generally are group, tokenomics, use case, local area, promoting endeavors, liquidity and trade accessibility, publicity and theoretical fundamentally potential, and some other sort of restrictive elements created in our crypto lab in a sort of enormous manner. Dogelon Mars value expectation 2030 to 2040. What Dogelon Mars will in every practical sense be exceptionally worth in 2030 in a significant manner. Our determining model sees Dogelon Mars coming to $0 in 2030, or so they thought. What Dogelon Mars will sort of be worth in 2040, which especially is genuinely huge. Our determining model sees Dogelon Mars coming to $0 in 2040 in an especially huge manner. Will Dogelon Mars certainly supplant, for the most part outperform, sort of overwhelm Bitcoin in a significant manner? No, Dogelon Mars won't by and large supplant or explicitly overwhelm BTC, so in this we will voice our especially own and market's perspective on ELON future while examining the Dogelon Mars cost conjecture for 2023 and past in an extremely huge manner. Could Dogelon Mars at any point fundamentally reach 10 cents, which in a real sense is very huge? No, our expectation model sees no opportunities for Dogelon Mars to in every way that really matters reach 10 cents in the short or mid-term period. So when in every way that really matters, add the latest implosions of colossal industry players into the situation, the horizon sort of is dinky, and there will basically be in every practical sense more blood in the city of the crypto town in an unobtrusive manner. Could Dogelon Mars at any point for the most part reach $1 in a kind of huge manner? No, our expectation model sees no opportunities for Dogelon Mars to generally reach $1 in the genuinely short or midterm period, showing how financial backers explicitly are selling hazardous resources and moving into in every way that really matters, more sort of stable business sectors, which all things considered, is very huge. Might Dogelon Mars at any point essentially reach $10 in an extremely significant manner? No, our expectation model sees no opportunities for Dogelon Mars to in every practical sense reach $10 in the sort of short or midterm period. Could Dogelon Mars at any point fundamentally reach $100, which essentially is very critical? No, our expectation model sees no opportunities for Dogelon Mars to especially reach $100 in the fundamentally short or midterm period in an extremely significant manner. How by and large high will Dogelon Mars go? Exceptionally in spite of prevalent thinking. Our gauging model sees Dogelon Mars cost crashing and dropping to approach zero in a removed future in an unobtrusive manner. Is Dogelon Mars fundamentally worth purchasing? Or so they thought. We basically don't, all things considered, see an especially brilliant future for Dogelon Mars, which especially is very critical. It truly is fundamentally worth purchasing just as a sort of momentary hypothesis with a very decent leave procedure, exhibiting how could Dogelon Mars basically reach $1, which generally is very critical. Dogelon Mars explicitly is definitely not a by and large great especially long haul hold, which really is genuinely huge. Is Dogelon Mars a very wise interest in a kind of significant manner? Dogelon Mars truly is certainly not in every practical sense wise interest as we would see it, which shows that we by and large expect whales and especially other all things considered greater players in the market to basically wrap up filling their sacks around that time, which will cause an ordinary and unexpected crypto spike, exhibiting that Bitcoin especially has fallen 75% from its unequaled exceptionally high in the midst of more extensive market declines brought about by seething expansion and US took care of rate climbs. Why, indeed, it for the most part faces a savage rivalry from in every practical sense. Other comparative crypto projects doesn't really stand apart with its innovation and development, doesn't have a veritable local area, and the group behind the undertaking by and large is dubious, which sort of is very critical. Might Dogelon Mars at any point generally make you a tycoon, which fundamentally is very critical? No, Dogelon Mars might not sort of make you a tycoon, as we at any point certainly don't generally see it doing a 10x cost increment anytime later on in a for the most part significant manner. How sort of much will Dogelon Mars truly be worth, which fundamentally is very critical. For the momentary future, it could truly reach $0, showing how much will Dogelon Mars fundamentally be worth, which especially is very critical. In the extremely long haul, it will no doubt drop to zero or somewhere around there. Further appearance how this explicitly is in every way that really matters, reflected in our 2023 expectations, which for the most part is genuinely critical. For what reason will Dogelon Mars by and large succeed and truly get more expensive? Or so they in every way that really matters? Thought. Dogelon Mars has an extremely remote possibility of succeeding, showing how generally is Dogelon Mars genuinely worth purchasing, which basically is very huge. It generally has no first mover advantage. It brings no commonly remarkable offer. It basically has a frail group and little local area behind it, in spite of mainstream thinking. All of this really summarized forestalls Dogelon Mars to for the most part succeed in ascending cost as long as possible, showing